Hi, writers. Welcome in. I'm Robin Mellum. I am a children's book author and a teacher. I've written 10 books for Disney Hyperion, Houghton Mifflin, and HarperCollins. And these series of videos are here to help you learn how to write quickly and easily and efficiently so that you don't dread writing time. Let's take a look at our skill for today, which is writing with sentence structure. Now, this comes under the umbrella of what's called sentence complexity. And the definition of that is the state or quality of being intricate or complicated. Intricate meaning that it's interesting, and complicated meaning that it's kind of cool to figure out, like a puzzle. It's not confusing because your reader doesn't want to be confused. If it's intricate, complicated, it's actually fun to read. So as you're going down this path, you're trying to figure out, how am I going to write my sentences? And you have some choices here. You could do variety, which I talked about in the last video. If you haven't seen that one, go back and check it out because you want to know about how to do sentence variety. Or you could do a variety of structure. And that is the one that we're going to talk about today, how to structure your sentences. So what is it? What does it mean? Sentence structure is the arrangement of words within a sentence. So this matters because I'm going to give you an example. I went to the store, I got some gum, I saw my friend, we talked, I left. Are you hearing what I'm hearing? That first word of every sentence was the same. And then the structure of the sentences were also the same. I went, I got, I saw, we talked, I left. There's nothing intricate or complicated about this type of writing. It's basic structure overload. It's too much of the same type of sentence. So now I'm going to kind of walk you through how you can break out of that pattern of writing sentences that are just too simple for your reader. You have a few options here. You can start with a simple sentence. And I put this here because we need simple sentences. They are a big part of our writing program. And then after that, you could also do compound sentences or complex. Now, I could break these up into 3 different videos and focus on each one of them, but I decided I want to teach them to you together. And the reason for that is, look at this. Think of these as spices. And if you were going to make some spaghetti sauce, let's say, and the recipe is going to call for salt and oregano and thyme and sage and whatever else goes in spaghetti sauce. But if you only used salt and you put in 4 heaping teaspoons of salt into your spaghetti sauce, it would taste terrible. Or if you only put oregano in it, it would taste terrible. It takes a little bit of each part working together for it to be amazing. And that's how writing is. You need to sprinkle in a mixture of simple, compound, and complex sentences in your writing. Let's take a look at each one, a description and an example. So simple sentences, you're probably very familiar with this, is one complete idea. For example, the dog barked. You have a subject and you have a verb. Now, a compound sentence is 2 complete ideas joined with fanboys. And fanboys is just a way for you to remember what is that conjunction that puts them together. So you could use for, and, nor, but, or, yet. And think of those as like the glue that connect these 2 sentences together. You have to have it in order to make a compound sentence. So in this example, the dog barked and the cat ran away. We have 2 complete thoughts. They're 2 completely full sentences here. We have subjects and verbs. And I want you to just notice that in this, you have to have a comma and you have to have a conjunction in order to make that a compound sentence. Make sure that the second part of it also has a subject. That's the one thing that I see students sometimes making a mistake with, is that the second part doesn't have a subject with it. In that case, you don't have a compound sentence. So the other option for writing is a complex sentence. And in a complex sentence, I'm just going to dodge everything here. You have one complete idea and one incomplete idea. So it's a mixture. You've got what's called a dependent clause. Let me show that to you. When the dog barked, the cat ran away. So see if you can figure out which one is the complete sentence. There's a complete idea there. And then there's also a dependent idea. And sometimes it's called a subordinate clause. You may have heard that. So if it has something like when and a comma, you have a complex sentence. And notice in the second part there, the cat ran away is a complete idea. But when the dog barked, not a complete idea. If you walked up to someone and said that, they would say, and finish your thought because it's not complete. So put the two together and you have an interesting complex sentence. Let's do some sentence glow ups. So let's start with this one and talk about a hamster. I love my hamster. His name is Nibbles. He eats seeds. He runs on his wheel. He squeaks a lot. So this one, kind of boring for your reader, right? We have too much of the same. It's too much salt. So let's glow this sentence up into a better paragraph. Here we go. I love my hamster Nibbles because he's hilarious. He eats sunflower seeds all day long and he never gets tired. When I turn off the lights at night, he runs like a maniac on his squeaky wheel. So in this one, let's kind of break this down. We have a compound sentence here where we have he eats his sunflower seeds all day, a complete thought, comma, and there's your glue. He never gets tired, another complete thought. And then towards the end here, it says, when I turn off the lights at night, he runs like a maniac on a squeaky wheel, comma. And it starts with that, it's like a subordinating conjunction or a subordinating phrase there, clause. Yay, your reader is super happy with this. It's interesting. It's a mixture of all the different writing spices. Let's try this one. I'm going to read this one to you, and then I want you to pause it and see if you can try this one yourself before I show you the glow up. My sister likes to sing. She sings all the time. She sings in the car. She sings in the shower. She sings everywhere. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. So pause it here. See if you can rewrite this with a mixture of simple, compound, and complex sentences, and then come back. All right, let's take a look here. My sister sings like she's auditioning for Broadway. She belts out tunes in the car and she performs full concerts in the shower. Even when we're grocery shopping, she can't stop humming. So in this example, let's take a closer look and find the compound sentence. Notice the comma and the conjunction there, that glue, putting those two thoughts together. And then the complex sentence, even when we're grocery shopping, comma. We have all different types of sentences in this paragraph. So if you were going to use sentence structure, here are your steps to keep in mind. Number one is you're going to start simple. And here I want to give you a little bit of advice when you're writing. It's too much to keep in your mind before you start writing. Oh, I need to write with variety. I need to have short, medium, long. I have to have compound, complex. Just don't think about it. Just write what comes natural to you and what comes out quickly. That's more important, is to get your thoughts down on the paper. Really amazing complex sentences don't come out of authors' minds either. What comes out is the simple, natural language and thoughts that come first. So put those down. Then you can come back and do the next step, which is number two. You can add in some combo power. So now you're going to take some of these sentences and put them together. You're going to use that glue of the conjunction and make compound sentences. Then third, you can go in here and you use a pro move, change the order up of some of the words, the arrangement of your words, and make them a complex sentence. So that is like a revision process that I'd love to see you have as a habit daily of writing what comes natural and then quickly revising right then on the spot. To remember how to write a complex sentence, here's what I want you to maybe write some notes, put in your notebook so you always have this. So for a complex sentence, think a woobus, which is a pretty fun thing to say. Go ahead and say it. A woobus. So AWUBA stands for after, although, as, when, while, until, because, before, if, since. So you won't remember those. But if you write them down somewhere and you have them, then when you're trying to go back and revise and create this amazing complex sentence, you can pick which one of those makes most sense to start off with. Let's see this in action in Percy Jackson. I was glad the morning went fast because it kept me from thinking too much about my problems. I couldn't stand the idea that something might be wrong at camp. Even worse, I couldn't shake the memory of my bad dream. I had a terrible feeling that Grover was in danger. Now, can you find the compound and complex sentence in this example? Let's take a look. The first sentence is your compound sentence. And then the even worse is your complex sentence. Why does all this matter? So great writers will build their sentences like Lego. So you snap them together like ideas in a way that will keep the reader curious. It's going to keep your reader surprised and wanting to read more. So every time you write a sentence, you're making a choice. You can choose variety, choose rhythm, choose complexity. Here's your challenge. You're going to revise this basic paragraph and you're going to use simple, compound, and complex sentences. I saw a lizard. It ran across the sidewalk. I screamed. It ran away. It was fast. Let's do better than that. Now, once you get your draft down, remember I talked about having that revision habit. Write down your thoughts immediately, quickly, simple, whatever comes out. Then you'll go back and ask yourself, do I have a mix of sentence types? Do I have a compound? Do I have, what do I have in here? And did I avoid starting every sentence the same way? If they all start with I, rewrite those. You could have one or two, but not all of them. And then did I try a complex sentence? That's your power move. Make sure that you have at least one complex sentence in there. Don't make them all complex because then you have spaghetti full of oregano that probably doesn't taste good. All right, that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. And be sure to go back and watch sentence variety if you didn't get to see that one next. And teachers, look below for the free worksheet that goes with this skill.